Well, guys, I did it. I'm back. I missed a week, I know. I'm not super proud of it, but I had a good reason. And hear me out. It was Christmas. It was busy. I felt sick. And I may have been feeling a little bit of depression. It's tough to say, really, what it was, but it was sad. I'm feeling better now, and I'm feeling ready to record. Oh, I got a light from my Granby. That probably just screwed up the entire film thing. Oh my, so thank you for that. Anyway, today we'll be doing another, what did I call them? Oh shoot, what was it called? Oh, it's just called a How I Made. Okay, cool. And welcome back to another episode of How I Made. And this episode is the third episode. We'll be going over another song from the EP that I released a while back. It is the song called Too Tired. And we're going to go over how I made it. Whoa. So let's just jump right in. The first thing we start with is interesting. Let's see. So it says acoustic guitar. But don't be fooled, it's definitely not an acoustic guitar. So I have that intro synth, and then I have a few others stacked up here, and then I just have a big room drum kit going ksh, 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 and then slowly it does the you know, like every EDM drop. Really what this song was experimenting with EDM and dance music and just figuring out how to do it, because I had never really done it before, and I learned how to sidechain, and I'm like, well, I gotta sidechain something. Why not make it EDM music? Anyway, let's just break down this drop here, because the intro really isn't that exciting. It looks like I just have a big saw bass right here. And it's playing a top layer. So it's very straightforward. Next one. Interesting that I have delay on that. I don't know if I would do that now, but maybe it adds to the atmosphere. I remember putting a lot of layers of kind of the same thing, but different octaves to fill out space, make it sound full, and different like synths and sounds and stuff. Like that one's slightly different, but barely so, and it takes up the same register, so I don't know. I was just picking sounds to fill the space at that point. What's this next one? We just have a higher layer. We should have the same thing, either the same octave or an octave higher on the left. Yeah, that's just to make it sound wide. Again, I'm just trying to achieve a very full sound, so taking up a lot of the deeper and mid and higher like octaves. I'm trying to get everything in there and trying to make it sound wide and big, whatever, like a big, cool EDM drop thing. The next thing I have is the ghost kick, and the ghost kick is just a separate track I have set. All it does is I sidechain things to it to make it have that bounce with the kick. So I line it up with whatever this kick is, and the only reason I use a separate track for the ghost kick is if I want to have extra beats in the normal kick, it won't mess up the sidechain compression with everything else. So I have more control over the compression of everything else without having to worry about how it affects my drum kit and whatever. It's easier to just keep them separate for me. So the drums, very simple. That's the first layer I'm using. Second layer is this. Just some echoey claps to kind of layer the snare there. Next layer I have is this. Even more claps. A little bit of reverb, make it big, make it sound wide. And the last track for drums I have is this. Couldn't tell you what was going through my mind when I added that layer. I don't know the purpose of that, but it's there, so. Okay, then we have some more chords, it looks like. Okay, I remember this. We have another octave up, whatever, on the other side. Cool. This sound is a sound I found in Logic, like most of my projects. That's how they started. I just find a sound in Logic, and then I just make something out of it. But basically, I found this sound, and I was like, this sounds like a cool EDM song. I'm going to make a song out of it. So this is the sound that kickstarted the whole project. If I didn't find this, the project wouldn't exist. But a lot of making songs for me is just finding sounds in Logic, kind of customizing them a little bit to what I think could make them sound better, and then build a song off of it. Anyway, that's it for instruments. The rest is vocals, I believe. And it's just like, a couple layers of that ooh ah, that you kind of hear it a bunch in the song, but here's what that sounds like. So I have 4 layers there. They're heavily auto-tuned because, again, it's that EDM dance. Whoa. Anyway, there's 2 layers that are the same octave that are ooh ah. You can see why I use auto-tune. And then there's 2 other layers on top of that are an octave higher. The ooh ah. Anyway, when you add it all together, you get this cool little drop guy that sounds like this. Anyway, that's basically it. That is the basic skeleton of every chorus in this song. So let's get into the verse here. The verse is something that I do for a lot of songs, and I'm trying to break the habit because I get too comfortable with it. But basically all I do is I just take the bass of the chorus and I just have just the bass soloed with some drums, and then boom, you got yourself a verse. So it just sounds like this. I'm not going to lie to you. It works. It's a very common formula. A lot of people use it, and it works. But that's not an excuse to use it for literally every song, which is what I tend to do. So I'm trying not to do that anymore. You're on the new album. You're still going to hear that because I'm going to do it. I'm not a crazy person. But I shouldn't. It's naughty. I've been naughty. Vocals, let's get into them. Vocals are more exciting. So here's the main verse, and I'm so sorry for what you're about to hear. I know that this is a suspicious time to bring up the past. So not awesome, but anyway, the artist that I was trying to mimic here was Depeche Mode, and I guess that's not an artist, that's a group of artists. How many people are in Depeche Mode? Is it just 2 or is it like 5? I don't know, and I won't look it up. I refuse. I'm just trying to mimic that kind of like, it's very reverby, very echoey, and I'm also trying to mimic him in my voice a little bit with the past. Like, that's not a normal way to sing for me. That's not, but I was just like, let's just have fun with it. Whatever. I'm feeling pretty goofy. And then let's look at the other layers, because you get the point with that one. I know that this is a suspicious time to bring up the past. Yeah, so this is heavily auto-tuned to one or two notes, and the goal is to try to kind of sound vocoded because I didn't know how to use vocoders on Logic, like the stock Logic vocoder back in the day. So I was like, well, how do I get that sound? Add a bunch of auto-tune layers. So let's see what the other ones are. I know that this is a suspicious time to bring up the past. Yeah, so it's just auto-tune to sound vocoded, and then I have this little echo boy right here. But here's how it all sounds together in the verse. I know that this is a suspicious time to bring up the past. You can tell this is before I had a pop filter for my mic, so you could really hear the in this verse, which is super cool. I love it. Pre-chorus kicks in, and it makes you feel a ba-ba-ba-ba. And then it goes into the chorus. Here's how that sounds. And you hate that you know what I'm doing. I got you. And then the chorus kicks in, and that's when the exciting stuff happens. And by exciting stuff, I mean anyone's voice other than mine own. And this person's voice is guest star Naomi Crandall's voice. And I believe it's just these 2 green ones down here laid on top of 4 of mine. So I'm going to play you mine first because obviously I come first. And then second, I'll play you Naomi's, but here's mine first. I got too tired for you, baby, baby, baby. I'm kind of doing an overly pop EDM vocal type effect, baby, baby. I sound like an idiot, but it's a genre. I'm trying to do the thing in the genre that other people do in the genre. I'm trying to mimic. Anyway, here's Naomi's vocals. I got too tired for you, baby, baby, baby. Anyway, 100 times better. That's what a real vocalist sounds like. I'd also like to note that I told her to do the baby with the A noise instead of baby, because she was like, oh, naturally that's not how I pronounce that word. And I was like, well, it's how you're gonna pronounce it, you little you do what I say, because I'm the producer. It got really dark, but she forgave me, and we're good now. So anyway, that's the chorus. Basically, it just repeats that like 4 times, and then we're back into the second verse. And the second verse is similar in how it's recorded. It's very similar, I can assure you. The verse, I think, is the same thing, copy pasted. This is a very repetitive song. The verse is copy pasted, and then the pre-chorus comes in, and then we're back into the chorus. And that's the whole song. It's literally just the first verse into the second verse, whatever. It's a very shallow, repetitive song. But then, actually, it does get kind of cool, in my opinion. I do like the bridge. I like what I did for the bridge. It's kind of a breakdown. It doesn't fully come down energy-wise, but it does go into like a halftime triplet, kind of cool. I was proud of it. I liked it. Anyway, here's what it sounds like. It's basically a lot of the same instruments, but the drum beat switches to this. So it's so triplets feel more natural inside of that beat. And then we add more drums later. It sounds like this. So same top drum beat, but then we have the ksh, ksh, like layered in there, the claps. And then we have the normal ooh ah vocals mixed this time with these new bridge vocals. And here's what they sound like. I've fallen from the stars, I've landed in your arms, when I don't know what we are, and I hate it. I came. So that's my award-winning voice. Killing it. We have Naomi on the sides, on both sides, surrounding my voice, because it's like this whole song is like delivering bad news, you know? You put Naomi, the good stuff, first, and then you mix in the shit in the sandwich, which is me, myself, and I. And then on the other side of the sandwich, you have the good stuff, Naomi. So left, middle, right, you know? Naomi, Nate, Naomi. Good shit. Good. That's a good vocal technique if you ever just want to hide your vocal while still having it be the main vocal. Just cover it with other people's vocals. That's better than yours. So the bridge together with everything sounds like this. I've fallen from the stars, I'm landed in your arms, but I don't know what we are, and I hate it. I came back. So that's the bridge. And then we're back into this. I'll play the transition into the chorus real quick because I'm kind of proud of it. I like it. So here's what that sounds like. I can't see what we are, and I hate it. No drums. Where'd the drums go? I don't know. Let the vocals play out. And then start bringing the bass back in. Build. And then we're back in with the drums, baby. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time. Like and subscribe. So, bye-bye.